It's been a long time since I've had the Kamikaze out. It used to be one of my favourite destroyers, certainly something that I still do play for my premium tier 4 each week, but with the advent of carriers it's become a little less powerful than it used to be, but it's still an absolute beast. And I made a new friend today in HMS Thunderchild there, who is from New Zealand but currently resides in Australia, and he's also a military veteran himself. I believe he was in the Navy, and we were conversing in a couple of games earlier to this, and so we decided to team up and play a few games together. So it's always nice to make new friends, new acquaintances, and jump in and play a few games. So if you do see me in game and you want to jump in and division up for a few, then drop me a message and we'll see what we can do. He is playing the Viribus Unitus, and both he and I are kind of a little bit miffed that we've got a carry game, because his AA isn't the greatest and mine is practically non-existent. I think I've said before that with an AA rating of 1, the Kamikaze's anti-aircraft defense is the ship's cook standing on the stern, shaking his fist at the sky, trying to scare the aeroplanes away. Now, initially, I look at pushing this C cap, the open cap. I do get spotted by planes, and that's not good, so I think I'm going to be a target here. I need to move away. I did look across the flank and see that our other destroyer hadn't started moving yet. It's a French one, so he's got no smoke screens, and it also appears that he's not running any camo, which is never a good sign. And so I decide to pull the flank. We've got a Hatsuharu there, don't really want to be on him, so we put a couple of torpedo spreads through the gap, thinking, he might come towards us, he might stop in the middle of the cap and run a smoke screen. At the same time, there's his smoke. We decide to put some shots out there, and that is going to net us a lovely little cap reset there. Sorry, I had a bit of a frog in my throat for a second there. So I am spotted having fired my guns, but we quickly dropped detection, and I realised that looking here, there doesn't appear to be anybody across on red team's starter cap, but there are a lot of battleships out here. And one of the things that I'll point out during this game is we had a very hungry California. And yeah, we could have had a better game of it, but some people just feel the need, don't they? And you'll see what I mean in a second. Red team have also got a field div on their team because they've bought a Phoenix in, tier 3 cruiser, and he's actually going to survive the majority of the game, but I think it's because he kept himself hidden. Now I am running my smoke screen because I'm very close to detection from that Devonshire, and I want to use it as a bit of a decoy. But we are putting the cat among the pigeons now. We are putting torpedoes out there. The battleships all seem to be heading in this direction, and we land a torpedo, and now we're just going to play and become a nuisance. Now I don't necessarily want to sit here in this cap and take it. Oh look, there's our Frenchie firing his guns without a smoke screen, and that's probably only going to end one way for him. So, like the person that smells of wee on the bus, you don't exactly want to be close to them. So he's drawing all the attention, so I'm going to nope it out of here, but we aren't going to go too far. I'm looking and just wondering what on earth that guy was thinking, but like I said, given he's French destroyer, he's got no smoke screen, and he's rolled in firing his guns, and it doesn't look like he even got a single torpedo off. that they don't really have an understanding of how to play destroyers. Maybe they should subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do, because last Friday we passed 800 and we're already on the climb up to 900, and I think we're currently sat on 822. So I'm being psychological here, because I haven't been spotted and they've killed a destroyer that was in the capture point. So my psychological warfare here is, they think they've killed the destroyer and they think they're safe. So they're not going to be expecting this next salvo of torpedoes, but once those do hit, they're going to realise, if they know that those torpedoes are coming in pairs, that there is another destroyer out here. Now at the same time, that's going to alert Red Team's carrier that I am out here. But we're up to 88,000 damage, and we're going to push back into this cap and see if we can turn it now, because they're turning and heading in the opposite direction. That cruiser there is something that I'm worried about. And what I was saying about that California there is, you know, I'm landing torpedoes, I'm getting the floods, I'm doing the damage, but the California has picked up 2 cheap kills on me there, which could have been nice openers for us. But you know, let's forget the kills for now, let's forget the greedy California, and let's keep the pressure on Red Team and see if we can take this cap. There is our little cruiser there. He knows he's spotted, he's hiding away behind this island. I feel very, very sorry for him, because his friend that was in the battleship is dead. So he's very much like a little puppy dog that's been let loose in the doggy playground for the first time. He's shaking, he's shivering, and he's probably about to shit himself, to be frank. But there we go, we get another torpedo on that Texas. We're looking for this Devonshire, who is really the one we want out of the way, but we've turned the capture point, and so because we don't want to be near that Devonshire, we can leave him to the California, because it's a low health kill again, look, and the California is going to boop him quite nicely and take him off the board as well. When he gets his reload in, there we go. So that's 3 cheap kills for the California, 2 potentially of which could have been added to my tally, but we're going to continue to play the game. The Red Team carrier in this game is the Serov, and I did do a video a while back called Peeing Off Pobeda, where I'm in a destroyer being very much focused by a Russian carrier, and I use all my skill and wits to show how to avoid the attacks from Russian carriers. And it's a matter of literally going into them, going into his bomb drops, going into his torpedoes, looking for when he's starting his running in, and closing that distance to those planes so that you force him to drop early with bombs, or you can straight line through the gaps in between those skippy bombs. Broadside is not a place to be in a destroyer with Russian carriers. And because the torpedoes take quite a long time to arm, by turning into them, you can either force an early drop, or you can run through them before they actually arm. Now this Texas out here, he's obviously got some good AA on him, but he's kind of been in a bit of a panic and twisting and turning, but he's going to make the mistake now of sailing in a straight line, and we are just going to layer those torpedoes, 1 center, 1 left, 1 right. It's not a big spread. Chances are, if he turns, they're going to miss him, but running space fishy on this. The torpedoes are fast, this little boat is nicely fast, and the reload is insanely slow. I was going to say slow there, insanely slow. So there we are, we pick up a high caliber with 110,000 damage. You'll notice that that little cruiser is in C cap there, but he's not going to be long of this world because he's low health again, as you saw. So you know who's going to take that kill, don't you? Yep, that's right, it's the California again. So he's picked himself up 4 cheap kills. I can't imagine he's got much of a damage tally running on, because I think the combined damage of all 4 of those ships was probably around 10 to 15,000 hit points, if that. Now, you'll know that there is 1 ship left in the game. You can see from my twist and track indicator that it's the carrier. He's hiding behind the island. We could see where his planes were coming up from and going down to, and there he is. But we aren't going to launch our torpedoes straight off the bat, because he realizes he's spotted and he is going to gun the engines. Now, given that it's so hard to survive as a destroyer in carrier matches, I do like to rub a little salt in the wounds when I get the opportunity to do so. And he knows that I am screaming towards him. His secondaries are taking hit points off me. I was unscathed until this point in the game. But this video is called the Coup de Grâce, and with not 2 but with 4 torpedoes and a devastating strike, the game is over. So we finish on just over 145,000 damage with 2 kills. Potentially that was 4, and we get a solo cap, the high caliber and the dev strike, finishing with a respectable 2500 plus base XP. Unfortunately, HMS Son of the Child did get picked up by Red Team's Kamikaze and didn't survive the battle, but we did play some solid games together. So don't forget, hit that like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of this video, and please do consider subscribing to the channel, because at the rate we're going, we can easily hit 900 and then it's onwards and upwards to 1000. Take care of yourselves until next time. Goodbye.